Okay, so today we will talk about is unemployment in India and the types and the causes. So let's start the class. Okay, so let us just understand what is unemployment in India. Okay, so unemployment is a definition, so it's a phenomenon, okay, that occurs when a person who is capable of working and is actively searching for the work is unable to find work. Okay, now people who are either unfit for work or due to physical reason or do not want to work are excluded from the category of unemployed. Now the most frequent measure of unemployment is the unemployment rate. So yes, this is the way we rate the unemployment. So it is called as the unemployment rate. So it is, what is the meaning of unemployment? Let me just clear this. Okay, so the unemployment rate is defined as a number of unemployed people divided by the number of people in the labor force. Okay, so labor force is like the persons who are either working for employed or seeking or available for work, or and then they are unemployment but they are seeking for work during the reference period. So this is called as the labor force. So let us see the measures and how they are done. So measures of unemployment in India. So it is divided into three parts. One is usual status approach, then is weekly status approach, and daily status approach. Okay, now usually status approach records only those persons who are unemployed and who had no gainful work for a major time during the 365 days, the whole year, if they are not getting the work. So the date of survey, and then from which part, which year or which month they started to the next year, that is 365 days, that survey is taken as a usual status approach, and this is the date of survey and who are seeking or who are available for work. So the status of activity on which a person has spent the relatively long time of the preceding 365 years prior to the date of the survey is usually called as the usual principal activity status of the person. So it is like before the survey, till how many months he has been unemployment, so that will be called as the usual principal activity status of the person. Now the usual status approach captures a long term unemployment in the economy, and this usual principal activity, that is called as UPS, okay, it is also called as usual status, is determining using the majority time, which is the criterion and refers to the activity status on which she and her, it can be she or can be he also, for the longer part of the year he is or she is unemployment. So principal usual activity status is further used to classify him in or out of the labor force. So how many months he is working and how many months he is not working, that also can be done through this principal usual activity. So for instance, if an individual, like I was working for these months in a year and then again I'm out of the job, so this can be done by the way of this survey called as usual status approach. Yes, coming to the next one, that is weekly status. Now, weekly status approach captures both the long term open, like chronic unemployment, where people are not getting jobs at all, or seasonal unemployment. Like seasonal means, during the rainy season, the laborers who are working for umbrella factory, so they get jobs, and once the season gets over, excuse me, they are unemployment. Okay, they are unemployed. So this is a person is considered to be employed if he or she pursues any one or more of the gainful activities for at least 1 hour. Okay, so at least 1 hour on any day of the reference. So in the whole week, if he at least gets one day job, so it is understood that he is a weekly labor. Okay, and on the other hand, if a person does not pursue any gainful activity and has been seeking for availability for the work, the person is considered to be as unemployed. Okay, now coming to the last one, that is the daily status. Okay, the daily status. So in this daily status approach, the current activity status of the person with regard to whether employed or unemployed or outside the labor force is recorded for each day, okay, in the reference week. So this measure adopts the half unit of measurement for estimating unemployment or unemployment. Okay, so the approach is most inclusive, and this is a very very common approach, since it only captures the days of employment. So whenever the days of employment a person is working, that only will be captured, and it will be recorded as employed on the weekly status approach. Okay, so a person, say for example, who he works for 4 hours or more than that, but up to 8 hours on a day, is recorded as employed for the full day. Okay, so a person who works for 1 hour or more but is less than 4 hours is recorded as a half day. So this is the way it has been calculating. So accordingly, a person having no gainful work even for 1 hour is described as an unemployed person for a full day. So 4 hours or 8 hours. So this is a very very unique concept. Now we will talk about the next thing called as types of unemployment. So let me just delete this. Yes, so we will talk about is types Okay, so now types of unemployment is, one is called as frictional and the another one is called as cyclical. So first we will talk about is frictional. So frictional unemployment. So what is the meaning of this? The minimum amount of unemployment that prevails in an economy due to workers quitting their previous jobs and are searching for the new jobs is called as frictional unemployment. So the minimum amount of unemployment that prevails. So that prevails means it continues in an economy due to workers quitting. So what is the meaning of quitting? So when you leave the job, their previous jobs, and they are searching for the new jobs, then it is called as frictional unemployment. Okay, now the major reasons for frictional unemployment is lack of information about the availability of jobs or mobility. People don't know, they cannot travel from one area to another, or one state is providing the jobs and another state is not providing the jobs, and they don't have information nor they can relocate. So frictional unemployment persons remain unemployed, so because it's for a short period, so they are basically only unemployed for a very short period of time. Now this type of unemployment is of voluntary nature. So voluntary means he himself doesn't want to do the job, so he leaves the job. Okay, so we will talk about the next is voluntary and unemployed and involuntary. Let's talk about the next one, that is cyclical. Okay, so let me just clear this. Yes, so we will talk about is cyclical unemployment. Okay, so this is due to deficiency or fall in effective demand from consumers, which leads, I had told you about the rainy season, so this is the example, fall in production and low demand for labor. So now umbrellas are very much in demand at the time of rainy seasons. Once the fall of demand is there, there is no low, there is low demand in the winter seasons. So obviously the labors are also thrown out. So this is the striking example of cyclical unemployment, and it's a type of unemployment which is related to the cyclical trends of the boom period. So when the company is doing very good, so it's called as boom period, and when the company is in great loss, it is called as recession. So cyclical unemployment is a type which is related to the cyclical trends of booms and recessions, and that is why it is also called as business cycle. Okay, so these trends of booms and recessions are called as business cycles. Okay, so if any economy is doing good, cyclical unemployment will be at the lowest. So if an economy is continuously producing, like China, there is no cyclical unemployment because they are 12 months they are having production on an umbrella and all the things which are seasonal. Okay, so if an economy is doing good, cyclical unemployment will be at its lowest, and it will be the highest if the economy faces recession. Okay, now the major reason for this type of unemployment is the lack of demand, as I told you. And when the demand for goods is also, services are also low, then the firms will stop the production due to the rise in the unsold stock, because they have to sell the stock which is there in the godown, right? And after that only they will do fresh production. Okay, so as a result of stopping of this production, the firms lay off, that means they throw off the workers, and that's why unemployment rises. So this type of unemployment is for a long period of time, and the worker remains unemployed during the entire phase of slowdown or recession. So right now in COVID-19 situation, it's a very grief situation. So this can be stated as cyclical unemployment, but because of due to COVID, there is no demand of products, so most of the people have lost their jobs. So this type of unemployment is called as involuntary. Why involuntary? I am not ready to leave my job, but it's like I'm forced to be thrown out of the job. Okay, so as I had said, I will talk about is voluntary and involuntary unemployment. So voluntary unemployment refers to a situation where workers are either not seeking for work or are in a transition period from one job to another, so they are taking time. And voluntary unemployment remains in an economy during all the time, so it's always there. It's not because of boom period or recession. It depends on the worker. So if he wants to take a rest for 5-6 days, so he will take a voluntary unemployment. So as there will always be some workers who will quit their previous jobs and they will search for new ones. So everybody wants a new opening and a new beginning. Okay, and involuntary unemployment refers to a situation where workers are seeking to work and are willing to work, but they are unable to get work. So there's a difference here. And involuntary unemployment happens in an economy during the time of depression and the fall of aggregate demand for goods and services. So only in this case only that you can see is involuntary unemployment. Okay, let's come to the next one. So yes, we will talk about is structural unemployment. Okay, so let me write down. This refers to a situation which arises due to change in the structure of the economy. So, for example, an economy transforms itself from a labor intensive economy to capital. So, they don't want any more labors because now the economy or the country is converting itself from labor intensive to capital intensive. So, you know what is labor? Labor intensive means you need more and more labors, but in capital intensive, it is being replaced in machines and technology. So, structural unemployment occurs due to the mismatch of skills. So, let me write down it usually occurs due to the mismatch of skills. Okay, so example, like, due to advanced technological production progress, the production of cars is done through robotic machines rather than traditional machines. So as a result of this, those workers who do not know how to operate the new and advanced technological things in the car machines, they will be obviously removed. Okay, so the unemployment happens because the current workers do not have the required skills as wanted by the employers. Okay, so technological advancements, then robotics, then artificial intelligence, mechanization and automation are the main causes of structural unemployment. Okay, let's come to the next one, that is seasonal. So seasonal unemployment, okay, occurs during certain seasons of the year. Now, in some industries and occupation like agriculture, then holiday resorts, so production activities only take place only during the season, when the season is there. So therefore, they offer employment only for a certain period in a year. So people engaged in such type of activities may remain unemployment during the off season. So seasonal unemployment mainly occurs in which areas, let me tell you. That is agricultural sector, tourism sector, and factories producing seasonal goods. Okay, so now we will come to another very very important and vital term of unemployment, that is called as disguised unemployment. Okay, so these are all the terms which I want you to get accustomed for your exams purpose. Okay, so I will talk about is disguised. Okay, so it is a situation prevalent or mostly happening in poor and developing countries. Okay, so it's like, it happens when too many people are employed than what is required, and this happens in mostly in agriculture to produce efficiently. Okay, now this kind of unemployment is not at all, this kind of employment in sense is not at all productive, because you, when you need, do not need so many people, excess people you're hiring, so obviously there will not be any productivity. So it is not productivity in the sense that production does not suffer even if some of the employed people are withdrawn. Suppose if you only require 7 and 10 are there, so if 3 of them leave also, it doesn't make any difference because the actual requirement was only 7. So the key point to remember is that the marginal productivity of laborers under the disguise unemployment is zero. So their productivity is absolutely zero. So the laborers are employed physically but not economically, not money wise, they are not giving. So example I'll give you, please understand this. See, in a piece of 5-acre land, like suppose if there are 5 family members who are employed to grow 100 kgs of rice, and the maximum rice that can be grown on the land is 100 kg. So 5 people, 5 acres. Okay. Now the family decides to employ